What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to you with a novel breakdown tribute of the great Dominique Wilkins. He was one of the most flashiest finishers, being able to go straight up and blow past defenders, use his strength to power pass players, use his length to be able to finish at the rim against faster or big centers. And he was able to clear that space by coming off screens or just being able to use that strength to knock guys off balance and being able to go right past them and using his footwork to set himself up for a great finish. And he always was able to keep his head up, knowing where the defenders was at before he made a move. And he used to use his strength to be able to clear space and separation to be able to finish. And he was able to contort his body because of his explosiveness and his length and his size. And his footwork was always crafty enough to make you think or double guess what you thought he was going to do, and he was able to make you pay for that. He also had the ability to shoot a three when he was open. He didn't really shoot a lot of them back then, like most players in that era, but he was able to knock it down when it mattered or knock it down in general. But he also was able to use his handles to create space to be able to knock down mid-range jump shots, and we seen him develop that part of his game. He used to be a rim rocker, and then he started adding the mid-range so he can be more tougher to guard, and it made him more of a player that you couldn't really stop offensively after a while, leading to an NBA scoring championship. And it just shows you that he has so many ways to beat you, and he puts you at that triple threat. I can get to the basket, I can pass it, I can shoot the three, I can shoot the mid range, and I can always try to force you to do a double team so my teammates can get involved. And he just has so much confidence in his game, being able to just pull up at will and do it so efficiently. And he transition, he was just a monster, being able to use his speed and quickness and length to be able to cover so much ground and so much space so quickly that he was basically unstoppable for scoring in transition. And he usually beat you so fast, it usually be outnumbered sometimes, and he would just come at so many guys, and you was just too busy backpedaling. You forgot to contest it, you forgot to put your arms up, you forgot to put some type of resistance, or he'd just blow right past you in general and just make a layup or a dunk just by explosiveness. Just getting to the basket and covering that space was just so tough for you to be able to react to, that by the time you caught up to him, by the time you got back in front of him, he was already making a shot and putting it in the basket. And he was also a great deflector too. He would always see the pass coming. He would always anticipate the pass coming, especially in the middle of that paint where the free throw line is. He always liked to play in those type of lanes, so that way he can always be able to do a 2-on-1 or a 2-on-2. But it's hard to guard when you got a guy blitzing at you and you don't really want to foul him, especially because he was strong and long enough to get an and one if you did. And then you realize that sometimes he was already down there looking for the ball, because the guys that's at the top of the key setting the screens are usually centers or power forwards, and they're not the quickest guys. So he used that as an advantage too. And the fact that he was able to use his athleticism and length to be a great offensive rebounder and a great finisher when his teammates couldn't finish the play or they couldn't finish the shot, he was able to get the rebounds even if it's his own and just go up with ferocity and force and power and dunk the basketball. And he did that a lot in basically every game, and it was just so fun to see him play basketball. That's what they call it, a human highlight, because everything you seen every game, it was something to talk about. It was something to that you never seen before, and you were just like watching a movie, trying to wait for the next scene to happen. What's gonna be the next steal? What's gonna be the next shot? What's gonna be the next dunk that he's gonna perform on the stage of the NBA? And he did it so well, and they was a playoff team. And looking at it from this perspective, he went from being a guy that was basically athleticism and finishing to a guy that was a great all-around scorer. And he just was adding to his game and adding to the repertoire to be able to destroy his opponents. And that led to a 9-time NBA All-Star, 1986 to 94. And he was also All-NBA First Team in 1986. All NBA second team in 1987, 1988, 1991, 1993. He was All NBA third team in 1989 and 1994. NBA All Rookie First Team 1983. He was a scoring champion in 1986. He was a two-time slam dunk champion in 1985 and 1990. He was a part of the NBA 75th anniversary team, and He got his number 21 jersey retired by the Atlanta Hawks. He also won a EuroLeague championship, and he went over to Greece to compete. And he also was an Italian League All Star. He's part of the Greek League Hall of Fame, the NBA Hall of Fame, and he led the Greek to a championship while also being the All Star that year. And just dominated that league right away, and that just shows you that he had a little bit left in the tank, and he was able to prove that he was still one of the best players in the world, and he was able to globalize and expand what we looked at basketball in that country and how they looked at basketball in that country, and it made more people want to come over and play and dominate after seeing a guy like him do it. And he did it in the NBA and was able to do it outside of the NBA, and that's what we needed to stay the number one global sport in the world. The worldwide sport at number one is basketball, and it's been like that for a couple years. So when we look at Dominique Wilkins, not only was he a pioneer, not only was he one of the most dominant players in the game, and not only was he one of the most funnest players to watch in the game, he was just one of the most skilled and one of the most smartest players that we have ever seen. We haven't seen another Dominique Wilkins in the NBA. We haven't seen the player like him, but he used that length, that size, and athleticism to the maximum of his ability, and really became one of the must-see players in the NBA and in NBA history just in general. They always showing you his highlights. They always showed you what he did. They always showed you how much fun they had watching him, no matter what channel it is, and it just show you how much important his game is to the game of basketball. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, and share. If you're new to the channel, hit the notification bell and subscribe. If you've been on the channel for a while, I got over 2,000 videos, so you might miss some. It's the summertime, so it's going to be some downtime, catch up on some of the analysis things that I have done on this channel for so many years and recently as I've been putting out a lot of content. So if you late on the content or trying to catch up on some content, this is the perfect time to do it. Same for the new subscribers. Other than that, thanks for watching.